The Samsung Galaxy S25 family spans 5 very different phones: the value-focused S25 FE, the compact S25, the balanced S25 Plus, the wafer-thin S25 Edge, and the do-everything S25 Ultra. They share Samsung's One UI software and years of updates, but underneath they take very different paths on chip, camera, battery, and design. Let's compare all 5, spec by spec. Under the hood, 4 of the 5 run Qualcomm's flagship Snapdragon 8 Elite. The exception is the S25 FE, which uses Samsung's older Exynos 2400, a capable chip but a clear step behind. All run One UI, with a long software update promise. Memory backs that up. The S25 Plus and Edge carry 12GB of RAM, the Ultra offers up to 16, and the value-focused FE makes do with 8. Fine for everyday use, but the tightest of the group for heavy multitasking. 4 Snapdragon 8 Elite phones neck and neck, and 1 Exynos FE a clear tier below on chip and RAM. For storage, the S25 and FE start lowest at 128GB, the Plus and Edge at 256, and the Ultra reaches a full terabyte. Most use fast UFS 4.0. Only the entry 128GB S25 drops to slower UFS 3.1, and none of the 5 has a micro SD slot. Only the Ultra reaches a terabyte, and with no card slot anywhere, choose your storage carefully. Time for benchmarks. First, Geekbench 6, testing raw CPU power. The 4 Snapdragon models are tightly packed, with the standard S25 actually topping the multi-core chart, while the Exynos-powered FE trails by a wide margin. Antutu rolls the whole system into one score. Again, the Snapdragon Quartet lands in the same league, separated by low single-digit percentages, with the FE sitting clearly behind. 3D Mark stresses the GPU. Across Wildlife Extreme and Solar Bay, the 4 flagships trade the lead depending on the test, none pulling decisively ahead, while the FE again lands at the bottom. The 4 Snapdragon models are effectively tied across every benchmark. The Exynos FE is the clear step down. Displays first. Panel type, resolution, size, and protection. All 5 use Samsung's LTPO AMOLED 2X, from the compact 6.2-inch S25 to the 6.9-inch Ultra, with the FE, Plus, and Edge at 6.7 inches between. The S25 and FE stay Full HD+, while the Plus, Edge, and Ultra step up to sharper QHD+. Glass climbs from Gorilla Glass Victus on most to the Ultra's tougher Gorilla Armor 2. The rest of the panel, all 5 share a 120Hz refresh and HDR10+, but brightness varies. The S25 Plus and Ultra peak at a blazing 2600 nits, the FE at 1900, and the Slim Edge around 1400. Bright enough indoors, if less so under harsh sun. A 120Hz LTPO screen on all 5. The Plus, Edge, and Ultra add QHD+ sharpness, and the S25, Plus, and Ultra shine brightest at 2600 nits. Onto the body, starting with height. The compact S25 is by far the shortest at 147mm. The Edge and Plus sit close together near 158, the FE at 161, and the Ultra is the tallest at 163. Width tells the same story. The S25 is the narrowest at just 70.5mm, making it the easiest to hold, while the Ultra is the widest at 77.6. The FE, Plus, and Edge all land in the mid-75s. Build materials split the family in 2. The S25 FE and Plus use aluminium frames, while the Edge and Ultra go premium with titanium. Glass ranges from Gorilla Glass Victus to the Ultra's Armor 2, and all 5 are IP68 rated. Weight runs from the featherweight 162g S25 and 163g Edge, up to the hefty 218g Ultra. In the tougher tests, they're closely matched. Every model earns a Class A freefall rating and a Class C repairability score, so they're similarly rugged and similarly tricky to repair. The S25 is the compact, the Edge the record-thin titanium showpiece, and the Ultra the biggest and toughest. Design is where this family differs most. Cameras vary a lot here. The S25 FE and Plus share a 50 megapixel main, while the Edge and Ultra jump to a 200 megapixel sensor. Only the Ultra upgrades its ultrawide to 50 megapixels, the rest use 12. Zoom is the Edge's weak spot. It drops the telephoto entirely, where the others keep a 3x lens. Selfies are a shared 12 megapixels. On video, the FE, Edge and Ultra add 4K at 120 frames per second for slow motion, while the S25 and Plus top out at 4K 60. All 5 can shoot up to 8K. The Ultra is the most complete camera. The Edge shares its 200 megapixel main, but loses the telephoto. The rest keep a solid 50 megapixel setup. Battery grows with the phone. The slim Edge has the smallest cell at 3,900 mAh, and the compact S25 4,000, rising to 4,900 in the FE and Plus, and a full 5,000 in the Ultra. Charging is 25 watts on the S25 and Edge, and quicker 45 watts on the FE, Plus and Ultra. For efficiency, the whole family carries a Class A energy rating, Samsung's most efficient tier, so every model sips power sensibly for its size. First, the quick top-up. Here's how much charge each phone grabs in the first 15 minutes, then by 30 minutes, the burst you get before heading out the door. Higher is better. Now the full refill. This is the measured time to reach 100%, and that time normalized per 1000 mAh, so charging speed compares fairly even when the batteries are different sizes. The lower bar wins. The Plus and Ultra win on battery and 45-watt charging, while the slim Edge and compact S25 trade endurance for size. Connectivity is strong across the board, with a couple of catches on the FE. The S25 Plus, Edge and Ultra all get Wi-Fi 7. The FE stays on Wi-Fi 6E. USB-C is 3.2 everywhere, but only the S25 Plus and Ultra add DisplayPort output. Bluetooth 5.4 and full satellite positioning are shared by all. For the rest, every model has NFC for tap to pay, and none of the 5 includes an infrared blaster. Wi-Fi 7 and DisplayPort on the flagships. The FE trims to Wi-Fi 6E and drops USB video out. Sensors are almost a clean sweep. 4 of the 5 use Samsung's fast ultrasonic under-display fingerprint reader. Only the S25 FE drops to a slower optical scanner. The usual accelerometer, gyroscope and proximity sensors are on every model. Rounding out the set, every model includes a compass, so navigation and orientation features work the same across the family. Identical sensors bar one. The FE's optical fingerprint reader is slower than the others' ultrasonic units. So which Galaxy S25 makes sense for you? The 5 split into clear lanes. Pick the compact S25 for the lightest, most one-handed flagship. Choose the S25 FE to save the most money, accepting the older Exynos chip, less RAM, and an optical fingerprint reader. The S25 Plus is the balanced all-rounder, a big QHD-plus screen, a 4,900 mAh battery, and fast 45-watt charging. The S25 Edge is the showpiece, a stunning 5.8mm titanium body with a 200 megapixel camera, though it gives up the telephoto and some battery life. And the S25 Ultra is the no-compromise flagship, the biggest screen, a 200 megapixel main with 50 megapixel ultrawide and zoom, up to 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage, and the longest battery life of the bunch.